Welcome to the Yup Life podcast. That tiny pocket in jeans was designed to store pocket watches.
Ladies and gentlemen, thank you for tuning in. Another episode of the Yup Life podcast. Today is a special day. I think I say that every time, but this one's really
say we have a special guest.
Well, this one we have a 3-time special guest. Our good friend Leonard has joined us for recording an episode. Thank you very much for doing this. We really appreciate it.
I appreciate you guys. It's been a while.
That's another thing too. We haven't seen you in.
I think we just determined it was about a year, maybe.
No way.
Joey's last birthday about a year ago.
Fuck, it was a year ago, huh?
Yeah.
Holy.
Yeah, I remember the lift ride home very vividly.
Do you though, or was it?
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
So, you're the first, Leonard, to bring us something to drink, which we really greatly appreciate. What'd you bring us?
We got some rum here, straight from the Dominican, small batch aged rum. I also brought some cigars for you guys to enjoy later.
We should be paying him, not
I know, dude. Like scrubs.
Today's episode sponsored by Leonard.
right?
Well,
Cheers, you
cheers.
guys. It's nice seeing you guys.
Woo!
A little bit of rocket fuel.
It's good.
Could breathe fire right now. No, it's good though.
Oh, I'm gonna 2 more sips and I'm gonna be already gone
Yeah.
for this episode.
That's a good thing, though. You need
Feel
that.
real good.
It's good stuff.
I guess.
So one of the segments, Joey, why don't you go for it?
I think you've heard a couple episodes, but like we do the. I don't know if you heard the ones we started on, but it's like just the yuppiest thing you've done in the past week or so. Frivolous spending, or just like going on a trip somewhere that you shouldn't have, or something you kind of regret but enjoy doing in the moment. You don't have to go first, but just think of something like that.
Yeah, no doubt. I definitely have one. It's like at the tip of my tongue. My wife and I Vanessa, we went to the Dominican Republic in mid-July. I mean, it certainly wasn't something that, we had to do by any means, but it was a good time. We got to spend time with family. We got to see her brother get engaged. It was her mom's 50th and parents' 30th anniversary. So it was definitely fun-filled. It was memorable, but it was like, that's the reason we did it, because it was surrounded by family and things like that. But, we didn't have to go on that vacation and spend that amount of money, or even that amount of time being away from work. Because I feel like when you're away from work, it's like you're spending money. It's like you're not making any and you're spending it. So
it's like double negative.
Exactly. Yeah. So that's probably the yuppiest thing I've done in the past couple months.
That is definitely super yuppie.
Yeah,
That's pretty cool.
Yeah.
We're probably gonna touch base on that later. I want to hear more about that.
Yeah.
Oh,
No
yeah.
doubt.
Who wants to go next?
I can go.
There you go. Go ahead.
So, again, homeowner, always working on the house, stupid stuff, I had to run to Home Depot, and I was like, you know what? A power tool would help out a lot for this stuff, so I just went and bought a couple extra power tools that I probably didn't need right now, but I did anyways because I had the money and I just wanted to spend it on stuff. But that was about it.
What'd you get?
Yeah.
I got a right angle grinder, and what else did I get? I don't know. I ended up spending like $200 at Home Depot just to like fix some gutters, which was like way too much money. But
It's like an investment that you'll have that stuff for when you need it later on. You know what I mean?
yeah, for sure.
I was at Harbor Freight today, man. They had the parking lot sale. It was great.
Really?
Dude,
Yeah,
they give
yeah.
you a free fucking flashlight with every purchase.
You always get free something.
Or like
Yeah.
duct tape. It's like crazy shit that you...
Harbor Freight the shit.
Can we cuss on here?
Yeah.
Yeah.
All
It's
right.
explicit.
All right.
Shout-
not that I have a potty mouth or anything, but sometimes.
You're good.
Good.
You're Gucci.
Steven's the worst.
Yeah, I'm pretty bad. Shout out as many companies as you want to. You get sponsored. Harbor
Just
Freight.
keep throwing the hashtags on
Yeah.
my Instagram.
On everything, dude.
Yeah, I mean, why not? We use these people all day long.
We're gonna get an email. Can you guys please remove the hashtag?
We are not affiliated.
Cease and
Yeah.
desist.
It's hilarious.
What about you guys?
I got something, but it's not really Yupp-ish. But
Don't tell me you worked a lot, because you guys say that every time.
I worked a lot. Check this out. Okay, so I went this week? Yeah, this week. I've been looking for a new dentist, right? I guess this is kind of like adulting-ish. It's adulting,
sure.
Not things you got to do. So I went looking for a dentist because my current dentist is retiring. I found one, and I looked them up on the internet, and the only reason why I went there because it was a picture of a bunch of girls, and they looked really cute and pretty, so I was like, all right, cool. And
Which one was it? Because I think I go to the same one.
I'll tell you later, but
All right.
Is it called Recess?
No.
Oh.
I don't know, but I need a dentist too, so
Well, okay, so
throw it my way.
my teeth, like my teeth are all jacked up, as in like crookedness and stuff like that. And then when I was younger, I had a bunch of cavities. Now with my adult teeth, I do pretty good. Like, haven't had any problems. Blah blah. All of a sudden, I go there, and they take X-rays and they had like a massaging chair, a TV, and stuff like that. I was kind of blown away. I was like, this is dentist. Like, I'm used to just going there and the dentist asking you questions. And you're like, because he's like down in there. Well, she was telling me, she's like, well, you have a lot of cavities. You have 8 or like 10 of them. I was like, wait, what? I was like, yeah. I was like, well, I just went to the dentist last year, and like they said it's just fine. And all of a sudden now, and I haven't changed my routine or anything like that. She's like, yeah, well, you see, and she zooms in the X-ray, and there's like the little tiny black dot. She's like, that's a cavity. And I was like, so, and I have 8 of them. She's like, yeah, so we need to take care of them. Well, how much is that going to be? $1,700. Oh. I was like, okay, thanks. I'm going to go somewhere else and start looking. I feel like dentists these days are just kind of, it doesn't matter if they'll try to find anything or something just to
Upsell you?
Yeah.
Right. Yeah, it's kind of bad when you have to go get a second opinion at a dentist now. Like, you think it's a doctor and they have the best interest in mind, but why is a dentist any different from any other doctor?
Yeah.
No wonder they had a massage chair and
yeah, that's right.
and all that shit.
Yeah.
Dude.
They have the money for it?
Yeah.
Oh, they have
Sure
to pay for it or something. I don't know. But anyways, that's my little rant. I don't know, adulting thing.
Dope.
So the yuppiest thing you did was sit in a ultra bougie doctor's office
And get a $1,700 not bill, but estimate for.
You got a pretty mouth.
Yeah. So not cool.
Yeah, it sucks, dude. For me, Saturday, I was supposed to get up early and go to the river, just me and my girlfriend. Woke up at 1 p.m. Right?
Isn't that early for you?
I mean, that's kind of early for me. So we try to hurry up, and we're like, should we go? Should we not go? And this is like when it's been storming a lot in Arizona. So I was like, I think there's like a 50% chance of it raining. We go outside, super fucking sunny. So we're like, fuck it, like let's try to go down there. Let's try to make it to the river.
Is that the day I saw you at the gym?
Was it?
Yeah, I think
been.
so.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So we end up trying to go. We go buy like the parking ticket. We fill up our tube. Like we're on our way. And then we have a little pamphlet that says, like where to park, how much it costs to get up like the mountain, if you take the bus and all that kind of stuff. And right there it says cash only. We don't have any cash.
It's not
So
cash only, dude. They
Are you
take
serious?
credit card now. Fuck. Yeah.
Well, we went an hour all the way up there
Mm-hmm.
and turned around because of that.
Dude, they take credit card now.
Really?
As of like a year or two ago, yeah.
I didn't know that. So we turned around and just hit up bars. We got drunk.
I've never been tubing. I know you've invited me a couple times.
Yeah, you're like phobic, right?
Yeah, I mean the water is just water and lakes and rivers.
You should have seen it the last time we went. We were in this part where it kind of just like dead stop, and you can see all the marshmallows and like the filth on top. The
It's
top.
pretty gross.
Yeah.
Everyone's all stuck together. It was pretty gross.
Yeah. Or like at a lounge pool at a day club, like you won't catch me in one of those. Nah.
No resort pools or
Nah. No, not really, man.
Are you like germophobic?
No, like I mean, I'll go get in a pool and hang out for a little bit, but like those little wading pools, like
kiddie pools.
Yeah, I just
Or like water parks.
You see people drinking all day long, and they don't leave their spot. You kind of makes you wonder about it. It's like what's going on here.
You taking a piss or?
Yeah.
Sure.
So, yeah, I mean, I'm sure after a couple drinks, like, it probably doesn't matter in my mind. But
Yeah.
initially, I'm kind of tentative to go in.
Don't knock it till you try it.
I know.
No, I've tried it for sure. Yeah. Yeah. It's
But-
good times.
Well, I got a parking pass, so we should go.
If
Yeah,
you
we
didn't
should
scratch
go
it out,
soon.
if you didn't
I
scratch it out,
didn't.
yeah, we can go.
Yeah,
But
we should go soon.
so the real reason you're on here is just to get kind of your perspective as a young professional. That's what we're doing here. Just kind of explaining how we live our life.
Yeah.
Trying to break that millennial stereotype, that young professional, like, hoity-toity stereotype. We're just kind of down to earth, normal people.
No, yeah, definitely.
We don't do anything too crazy or extravagant, but we try to get people on here that have expertise in certain areas
Sure.
that kind of impact their lives or other people's lives.
Yeah.
But we originally wanted to get you on here for fashion because you always dress so fly,
Man.
Dude, you got that swag.
more so than any of us.
Fashion.
But
Shout out to Ross, TJ Maxx, Marshalls.
don't give your tricks away there.
Yeah, yeah. No, and it's just, I think my biggest goal is just like keeping some clothes that's been in the rotation for a while, and just like hoping that I lose enough weight to fit back in a while. Like, people haven't seen it, so it's just like that's key right there. Just kind of making sure I don't gain any weight so I can still fit into all my clothes that's in rotation. But
Dude, you are looking slim though.
thanks, man. I think it's because I stopped drinking so much booze.
Oh, really?
Probably a big part of it is.
That sounds boring.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Work and actually what we're going to talk about today, the travel is kind of taking its toll, on my schedule, certainly, the past couple months more than ever. But, it's just a matter of adapting and finding something that's comfortable for you and kind of getting like this routine down to knowing your body, like when you need to eat and stuff like that, and just making sure that when you do make those choices, they're better choices. You don't have to go out and try to eat super clean, but when you're on the go, I think that'd be something that'd be interesting to touch on later on today, is kind of figuring out your like your body, making sure that you're trying to maintain as a healthy body and mind.
Yeah, it's hard to do when it's like you're always go. You don't have time
Yeah.
to focus on that. You have other things going on.
I mean, you land somewhere at midnight, and after at that time, and after you get off the plane, go get your rental car. It's like your choices are limited.
Fast food
always, you
Right.
know. So, kind of got to pre-planning for that's the best.
Mhm.
But sometimes you just gotta find food at midnight.
Right.
And you gotta bite the bullet.
Gotta do what you gotta do.
Yeah.
Dude, didn't you also like stop eating meat? Is that still going on?
So I don't eat as much meat as I used to. Like, I used to make it a point to eat meat, at breakfast, lunch, and dinner by some standard, whether it was like a sausage patty at breakfast and, like a turkey sandwich at lunch or whatever, and meatloaf for dinner. Like, there was always meat on the table, I guess, growing up, kind of.
Mm-hmm.
And that was just something that, like, I took with me when I got married, and my wife was kind of the same way. And we just realized that we felt a lot more, like, lethargic and not as, like, upbeat as we could be, So, yeah, we still eat it, like, special occasions. I mean, today, because it was Friday, I'm in town. I happen to be in town, and we go to this little spot that we like down the road by our house. It's called Chicago Hamburger Co.
It's a good place.
Yeah, it's really good. It's been here for forever, and that's kind of like our treat, like, maybe once a month or something. Yeah.
So before we jump into like why we have you on here, you want to give like a background to yourself, where you're from, what you do for work?
Yeah. So I'm originally from El Paso, Texas. It's a little border town on the tip of the panhandle of Texas.
Were you born there? Or?
Yeah, I was born and raised. Moved out here to Phoenix in 2005. Freshman. It's kind of when I met you guys around that time. Probably weren't as close then, but so then did my high school here. Went to college here. Went to ASU. Graduated in 2013, which is crazy. We've been out of college now longer than we were ever in college.
Yeah.
As undergrads anyway.
Right.
Yeah.
It just blows my mind. I was like, wow, time like goes by super fast.
It's a sort of over the hill moment.
Dude, I mean, it hit me the other day. I was laying in bed staring at my ceiling. I was like, man, I've been out of college now longer than I was in college. It's
Right.
kind of sad, But went to college, and then I wanted to go to medical school, and I kind of based my degree around that. I applied to medical school. I got an interview. I never got accepted. So one of the reasons why I didn't get accepted in the feedback that I got was I didn't have enough clinical experience, so like hands-on stuff. I worked at a lab at ASU during my undergrad, but it was a lot of like bench work, crunching numbers and a lot of repetitive stuff. Nothing really hands-on with like patients or, any kind of population. And
is it that whole stigma like you need experience to get experience?
yeah, I mean totally. Especially, I mean, not only just in trying to get into medical school. I mean, I'll go into a little bit deeper on how that even plays a factor in my current industry. Now I'm in the pharmaceutical industry, more specifically on the clinical research side of things. So, not like pharmaceutical sales or anything like that.
You can't give me Viagra on the cheap or what?
No, man.
Dang,
No.
dude. Cut it off. That's what we have you on here.
Yeah, no. But the pharma. Well, let me go back to the medical school thing. So, didn't go to medical school. I said I needed a clinical experience, so I went and got 2 different jobs. Actually, I went and got a job at John C. Lincoln Hospital here locally as a scribe. So I would work in the ER and literally follow doctors around with a laptop and like a little cart, and they would dictate their charts to me in live time. So I would like type out what they were saying, and like they would proofread at the end of the night and submit it and like make some minor edits and stuff. So I got a lot of hands-on experience doing that, and just seeing like a bunch of different scenarios in the ER. I'm sure like I've shared a couple of them with you guys, some really bizarre ones and some real, tragic ones. But then I became a clinical research coordinator. So basically what I would do is I would help patients that would come in that were part of clinical trials. And the clinical trials are run for the most part, they're run by pharmaceutical companies, like big pharma companies. I mean, some of these big pharmaceutical giants that you hear of, Pfizer, Roche, Genentech. If you look, like Johnson & Johnson, Merck, you go look on like an Advil box or something like that, and it's some kind of pharmaceutical company that, owns that drug, if it's not a generic. So these pharmaceutical companies, when they're bringing a new molecule or therapy to market, they do human clinical trials. There's 4 phases of clinical trials: phase 1, 2, 3, 4. And the phase 1 is more to, I guess, really test the safety of the new molecule. And when I was working as a clinical research coordinator, I was really just doing like phase 3 and phase 4 trials. So they've already proven like, a safety profile into it, and, an efficacy profile. And a lot of these patients that we would see, it was in rheumatology specifically, it was because they either couldn't afford therapy, or the current therapy that they're on like wasn't working any longer for them. It wasn't stopping their disease progression by any means. It was either staying the same, or, which, in that case, some people would consider that lucky, or, getting worse. But got into that, and then I got recruited by the company that I currently work for, and I've been with them now for, it'll be 3 years at the end of the year. But I work for this company called IQVIA, formerly Quintiles. So now I just basically travel around the country, and I make sure that these sites that are conducting clinical research trials are in compliance with the FDA. Making sure that these physicians that the pharmaceutical companies are employing aren't, enrolling fictitious patients that don't really benefit from the drug. So I mean, I'm kind of like the middleman between the pharmaceutical company and the physicians and patients that are doing this, and even the middleman for the FDA. I have to report unbiased evaluations of the site. Certain things that might not be good clinical practice and stuff like that. So, it's interesting, and it's certainly rewarding. You get to see some drugs push through that were, I obviously haven't been part of it all, but I've seen some drugs here in the last couple of years that were in clinical trials for 15 years, finally get approved or on the market. So it's stuff like that gets you a little bit excited, because maybe, it's more readily available to the masses, and hopefully, it might be that one therapy that, changes, even if it's one person's life,
Yeah.
Are there any weird like conflicts that you have to like engage in because someone's doing something shady or off the books or whatever?
Yeah.
Or do you kind of just report what you see and that's it?
No, I mean, I've had my encounters with a couple of, you call them PIs, they're physicians, they're MDs or DOs. They call them PIs because that's a principal investigator. So they basically, oversee the study at a site, and like sometimes I've had to have some difficult conversations with some of the PIs just because, like you'll see that they're enrolling transient populations, and it's just, that's not. I mean, if we know anything about history, it's like the Tuskegee trials and the Nuremberg trials where we're not necessarily doing it on the patients without their knowledge, but if you're enrolling them for the sake of compensation, then that's not right either.
Right.
Like giving someone a heart medication, because that's one more patient enrolled in your study that you get paid for, but they don't necessarily need it. It's kind of pinpointing those things. So
do you ever deal with like people like Solarion? Because I know when I was struggling for some cash, I almost, signed up for these clinical trials, and they have you in a room for like 6 months or whatever.
So that's kind of what defines a phase 1 trial is like they keep you in like, you typically stay the night places, and they observe you more on a 24-hour time frame. But no, not too much. A lot of those, like with Solarian, are really big. I don't really even know what to call them. They're not really. I mean, they are clinical research studies, but they're bigger in scale. They're like, they're kind of like a watered down version of like a sleep study or like a diabetes study, something that's, maybe not as
specific.
Yeah, specific or something that the molecule that's being tested, is not as controlled. Like it's not something that requires, I don't really know. I know Solarian's huge for doing those phase 1 things. I see their ads like on the internet, and like Craigslist, like they put Craigslist ads, and that's actually that's against like compliance.
Is it really?
Yeah, you're not supposed to like lure patients. Like patients are supposed to
They put like money signs.
Money is
if
money is the focus of the trial. Then you have some issues going on.
That makes sense.
Yeah, no, it's.
Do you think you want to like better the medical industry, not like, oh, I'm doing this for a quick buck,
right?
But that's what you were doing.
That's what I was gonna do.
Right.
I didn't do it officially.
Hey man, I mean I know some people that like go and donate their blood on a monthly basis.
This guy, you've done the marrow, you've done the sperm, right?
Oh man, dude,
I've done all.
You're always out to make a quick buck.
I had to at that time, man.
Hey,
The struggle,
So, hey,
You gotta
brother.
struggle.
you gotta do what you gotta do.
So on average, 7 days in a week, do you travel 2 to 3, 3 to 4?
3 to 4.
Yeah. Always work days?
Easily. Yeah, I mean, unless I go somewhere that's, a little harder to get to, where I'll only have one flight out. Like there's one flight in, it's usually in the morning, and then like one flight out in the afternoon.
Right.
But a lot of the times, like for example, yesterday I had to work in Vegas. I took a really early flight, landed there like at 8, had to be on site by 9, and I was home by 7, back in Phoenix.
Yeah, that's a long day though.
It is a long day. But then like today, my Friday is, mostly free because I got all my responsibilities done yesterday.
Do you get to bill every hour that you're traveling? So the moment you step out your door,
Right.
to the moment you walk in your door,
Right.
you get paid for every minute.
Yeah.
It's pretty good.
Well, and like delays too and stuff like that.
Right.
So it's door to door. I mean, it kind of amazes me that more people that had a science background don't really know about the industry. I mean, it's actually, it's rewarding in like the work that you do too. I mean, the travel is kind of gotten to be bad and tiresome, but other than that, man, it's pretty tight knit network. The industry of what I do now is I'm a clinical research associate, so that's kind of like the title of what I do.
I'll start telling my girlfriend too. Hey, I gotta go work in Vegas for Saturday night real quick. I'll be I'll be back.
Well, you work for a bigger company, so that's like kind of a reality. It could be a reality.
It could be, but they're not gonna send me everywhere.
Right.
Yeah.
Right.
I don't need to be in person.
There's a good balance between like sitting in the office 40 hours a week versus traveling 4 days a week.
Yeah.
Yeah, so I don't have an actual place of work where I have to show up at an office when I'm not traveling. So my office is my home.
So who do you report to? Just like it's just someone on the phone or an email? Is that all it is?
Pretty much. I mean, in the last 3 years, I've met my manager face to face twice.
That's like
Holy.
That's crazy.
really impersonal.
Yeah, it really is. And honestly, I mean, that's probably why I'm not having a difficult time talking to you guys on this podcast, because I don't really talk to anyone anymore. But I think another downside of the job and kind of being in solitude like that is the the discourse that you have with people. It's very limited. I mean, it's all email, and you can't tell people's tone. It's like you peg someone for being a jerk just because they're actually grammatically sound in their it's like, wow, this guy's too serious. But no, it's we're used to the ha 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 and LOLs of text messages that you kind of have to tune into the work mode.
There's no emojis going back and forth.
No emojis. Yeah, I try to send some exclamation marks to let them know I'm like a chill dude.
Yeah.
They're probably like, why is he yelling at me?
Yeah.
Only so much explanation you can do.
Yeah.
It's hilarious.
You should probably change your auto signature to like just chill, bro, or something like that. It said thank you.
Just put a little GIF there.
Chill.
Yeah.
Shows up on everyone's email.
What's your your hotspot? Like, is it Chicago? Is it LA?
Where I gotta
is it
go the
Vegas?
most?
Yeah, is there like a main hub or a...
So I mean, if like where our company's based out of?
No, just like where you go more frequently than other places.
Oh.
Or is it just all over?
Well, so if you draw a line basically from, I would say the middle of Texas up to Canada to the Pacific, that's my territory.
Okay.
For the most part. So
That's a
California,
lot of area.
Washington State, Oregon, Montana, Idaho.
So everywhere. There's no...
Yeah, I mean, I would say right now it's supposed to be Southwest. So it's supposed to be Nevada, Arizona, Southern California. But
Mhm.
I mean, I was spending a lot of time. That's why it was so rough when you were asking me about like my travel and stuff like that, and like the times, like getting places, and when I was traveling longer, like 3 to 4 days, is because I was having to go to Seattle.
Right.
So like some sites would accommodate me on a Monday, and then the other site wouldn't be able to accommodate me until a Wednesday. So then I have like a lag day in Seattle where I'm literally cooped up in my hotel room. I mean, I could go explore, but like once you've seen it a couple times,
What are you gonna do?
Yeah. It's like being at home.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, I was spending a lot of time in Seattle, specifically. Yeah. So that probably I'd say for the last maybe 6-7 months, I've been going there. I was going there consistently on a weekly basis.
That was something I was going to ask, is do you go back to the same spot multiple times to check on
Mhm.
the same site, or are
Yeah.
you just shotgun wherever they tell you to go?
No, so we have a monitoring visit schema that you have to follow that goes along with like a clinical operations plan that's set up for the project. But it just depends how long the project is. So one of the projects that I'm on right now, and I've actually been on it since it launched, it's estimated to last 5 years. So I mean, for 5 years, like I'd have to be going out to this site until the project closes and they do like the data analysis and all that stuff. So yeah, I go back multiple times. That it's just interim visits, make sure that they're kind of doing what they're supposed to be doing.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
Checking in.
yeah.
You going to Seattle so much, I'm surprised you don't have like a nose ring and a man bun.
Man, I'm telling you, yeah, it's a pretty trendy place to go. I like it. Quite honestly, if I didn't love Phoenix so much, I'd probably move to Seattle.
No way?
Yeah. It's just, people get tired of the gloom and stuff, but aside from that, I mean, if you're an outdoorsy kind of person, you like kind of hanging out outdoors, it's kind of perfect. You see a lot of people biking and paddleboarding in the water and skateboarding. I don't know. It's just kind of like a more outdoor feel type of place.
It's accepting.
Yeah. How's their coffee?
Is it?
It's all right.
Is it? Is it
all
the
right.
best?
Yeah.
Yeah, it's funny. Like you still down by Pike's Place, you still see the original Starbucks there, and it's always packed. People want to go in there and just check it out. But yeah, I mean, I'm not like a huge anything snob. It's just coffee's coffee. Like I'll make the coffee in the hotel room in those little pod things. They taste like garbage. I'll drink it and it's just fine. So it's whatever.
Do you have a favorite place you like going for work?
For work?
Yeah. If you had to pick one.
If I had to pick one, I'd probably say Kalispell, Montana, even though it's hard to get there.
Couldn't point to that on a map.
Glacier National Park is there.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, it's increasing in popularity. It's just so nice during the summer months there, the national park. I think last year in 1 month of July they had over 1 million tourists in 1 month.
Wow.
Which makes it hell for me when I'm trying to go to work because I can't find a hotel room anywhere.
Right.
But yeah, I mean it's just really pretty.
It's probably hell in the winter though, right?
Yeah. Yeah, I try not to make it out there too much in the winter. I have. And it's really cold. I don't have the right clothes or jacket. But
Right. Do you have like a worse place you don't like going? Some podunk town that has.
We could cut this out too if you don't feel comfortable. Like,
I'm sure my wife could tell you because I probably come and
complain
bitch
about
it every
yeah.
time. But
It's got one bar.
I honestly think
Everyone knows each other.
And I guess this might be this feeling. For whatever reason, it's not necessarily like I hate the place. You know, I just despise it and would never go back. But if I had to make a list, it'd definitely be on the bottom of that list. Is Albuquerque, New Mexico. Just because every time I go there, it's like my flight gets delayed, and you know, like the hotel room something's messed up with the hotel room, and you know, I don't know, man.
It's not necessarily the place. It's just the accommodations and
yeah, and it's just like
condition.
the consistency of it all. You know, it's like it's not like it happened once and it's like I'll forget about it. It's like every single time I'm back.
Right,
dude. A lot of fighters go to Albuquerque, New Mexico because one, there's nothing to do, so all you can do is concentrate on fighting.
You have no distractions.
Yeah,
really.
And it's just like I don't know, hotels are shit. I guess food isn't that great. Like it just toughens you up, I guess.
All right,
I can see that. Yeah,
I used to train in Albuquerque.
Yeah,
Watch out.
They're all just killers out there.
That guy's a badass.
Yeah, you probably go and train at the local Circle K there. Get some good experience, man.
Probably get some crackheads out there.
Yeah,
It's hilarious.
Do you exploit the traveling at all with like racking in points or miles or
yeah? I mean that's one of the perks of the job.
hotel
man.
rewards?
It's everything. It's you know, hotel, airfare, and
Car rentals.
Car rentals, yeah. One of a kind of cool story is, so I fly frequently and pretty much exclusively with American. I think my first year of flying with the company, I flew 100,000 miles, like my first year.
Oh man!
Holy.
Yeah, something crazy like that. And you know, we save up our points, and like Vanessa and I will go places when we can take time off. But something interesting just happened recently when we went on our vacation. We couldn't really get a flight that would accommodate like our travel plans through American, so we booked through Delta. And I don't have any status with Delta, you know. It's just like I don't ever really fly them unless I am forced to. So I called up Delta, and they were actually really nice enough to accept like my status for their airlines.
Can you explain like the different statuses? Like, is there like an A list and a B list and a C list, or you're just a pleb? Or
well, it depends on the airline, right? But for example, for American, you have tiers. Like you'll have, you know, like your gold, and then your platinum, and then your platinum pro, and then executive platinum.
Where do you land in those?
I'm exegitive platinum.
Okay, and what does that get you?
I feel like that's the top.
Do you get like nice lounges or like
no lounges? They still make you pay for a lounge. It's at a discounted rate, but you still have to pay for a lounge. One of the things that you do get, which is a really nice perk, is you get upgraded to first class pretty often.
Nice.
That's awesome.
So that was actually kind of where I was leading. So when I called Delta, you know, I was like, hey, we're going on this trip. Can you guys somehow match the status? And they're like, yeah, you just have to fill out this application and send us proof that you have that status. So it takes 7 to 14 days, right? So I was like, oh, well, I was applying the day before we were leaving. It's never going to get approved. So that Friday that we were leaving, I get an email saying that it's approved and we get first class tickets to the Dominican.
Awesome.
Yeah, it was like perfect timing, but it was pretty fun just kind of, you know, getting to travel that way. It was, you know, I guess that's why it encompassed my Yuppie trip, but it was a lot of fun, but it definitely pays off like when you use or stick to one airline, and those things start to build up.
Right.
Dude, when I was on American, when I went over to Miami, like, I felt like such a, I guess, a pleb walking through like the first class. You know, everybody's already have their drinks.
Did they have
shoes
the,
off?
Did they have the
already.
curtain too, or anything like that?
No, but there's
Oh.
like they have their own. What is it called? Not stewardess. Is it
Flight
called stewardess?
attendant.
Flight attendant.
Flight attendant,
That's not
yeah.
PC, bro.
Yeah,
I'm
I can't call them students
I'm
anymore.
sorry. Flight attendant. And she had like an apron on, so you know she was getting down because no one else had aprons on.
It's
yeah.
getting
So it's
messy up
what?
here.
Yeah.
Like sometimes if you take a certain flight from somewhere, I think if it's longer than 2 hours or something, and it's an evening flight, they'll like serve you dinner. So they'll give you a choice. It's just, I mean, it's something that you're not used to, especially, you know, I'm not saying I like grew up in the hood or anything, but you know, it's something that I like. It wasn't part of my, you know, life, or like I was never really exposed to that. I mean, I was exposed to traveling, but like certainly not in that with those accommodations or that style, you know. And I mean, it comes with the territory of being gone so often, because if you had to lug around and sit like in those tiny seats like 4 days out of the week, like it would get old really quick, you know. But it makes it a little bit better and tolerable, and that's, you know, the only reason why I'm grateful for it. But you know, it's nice to kind of have sometimes.
Bro, I'm all about that Southwest life.
I know, right?
I fly Southwest too, man. I mean, sometimes Southwest has all the flight times. It's like you want to get somewhere.
Yeah.
Like, they're not kidding when they say you want to get away, because you know they'll have you there.
Yeah.
Yeah, for sure.
I picked up a companion pass recently.
Oh yeah, did you send me a picture of it?
I might have. You talked about you got your first class trip to Dominican Republic, and it was fun and all that.
Yeah.
But does work travel kind of dilute or
oh man,
make enjoyable travel not as enjoyable?
yes. So
Like, do you just hate getting on planes now?
yeah, I hate getting on planes. I just hate having to deal with like luggage and just sitting around. I mean, it's like if someone were to follow me around, you know, with a camera, they'd see how much time like would be wasted at an airport or like waiting for a rental car shuttle bus.
Mhm.
So it's just, you know, when you do it so much, it kind of just becomes a routine and just, you know, almost habitual. You just
Right.
like a robot, right? You just go to all these places and wait. But
Does that ruin your trip? Or you're just kind of sour for the first
no,
bit of it?
you know, I've definitely tried to be a lot more positive about it later, or more recently than I used to. I used to hate it, man. I used to dread having to go to the airport and know that I was gone for a couple days. You know, like leaving my wife and my dog behind. It's just, I don't know, it just sucks, right? And then like you eat by yourself more often than not, you know, unless maybe you're with a coworker or
Hiring
something.
an escort. Oh, what?
Yeah, right.
Earmuffs.
Nah, man, it's like Backpage is gone. Bro.
It is.
So how much drinking do you have to do just to get through it all?
So I don't drink that much anymore, really. I mean, I was never like an alcoholic or anything like that, but I mean, I enjoy drinking just as much as, you know, the next person, just leisurely and socially.
Not as much as Ruben.
But
He's a resident alcoholic.
Let's not talk about that.
no, man, I don't really drink when I'm working. Like if it's
Oh, it
work
is work.
related, yeah.
So what keeps you entertained?
So I got rid of all my social media, right? I mean, like the profiles exist, but I like deleted the apps.
I was going to
and,
ask you to share this episode, all of your social media,
I know,
but
dude.
I mean, I like I said, it's there. I
word of
just
mouth is just as good.
deleted
right?
the apps, right?
Yeah.
So it's not. But
You probably, that's no skin off your back, right?
no. So since I don't have social media and I'm not sitting there like scrolling through Instagram anymore, I try to be diligent about starting and actually finishing a book. You know, so
Nice.
I've been reading this same book for a little bit now. Just kind of consistently been on a cycle. I make sure like as soon as I finish one, I go and buy another one, you know, next day immediately, or already have one at home like queued up, you know. So I do that. Watch a lot of YouTube when I sit around, catch up on work. People watching is actually very, very entertaining to me.
So plenty of time to listen to us, right?
Yeah, I listen to you guys as well. That's why I said YouTube. I watch some YouTube. Just checked out your new channel, by the way, the 9 to 5 Escape.
Yeah, I'll have to plug that at the end of the episode.
Yeah, no, it was good seeing that. You know, it just made me want to be there.
Yeah,
it made me hate not going.
I want to take trips with you, man.
I know, man. It's been hard. It'll happen though. It'll happen.
I think I invited you last time to.
Oh, sorry. Nothing. Just keep going.
I invited him last time to go camping.
Some private time.
Yeah.
I think you were working on your car or something.
Yeah. I was at my parents' house getting some work done on the car, and yeah, I know we've been meaning to go out and do a trip up north and stuff, but it's just the timing's been off. But it should be getting a little bit better around the holidays. It's kind of weird. It's definitely cyclical too.
You have seasons.
Yeah, I mean it's not like, you know, it's super busy and then it stops, but it definitely comes to a nice taper, and then it kind of evens out and then kind of ramps up again. Like during the holidays, it's a lot of people take time off, a lot of time off, so a lot of, you know, parts aren't moving just because those people are kind of missing from the picture, and things kind of slow down. But yeah.
Damn.
Let's touch on your. Go ahead.
I was gonna say, like, other than I guess it really affects your friendships, or I guess like just you being able to see your friends.
Do you remember Michu?
No, dude. So like, who's this guy? Who are we interviewing today?
Yeah, I was gonna ask like your personal life. How does that take a toll between friendships and gatherings or
family?
I mean, I can name so many people off right here that you guys know also. I don't want to say that my friendship has suffered, you know, because of my job, but it's definitely made me become a little more distant from my close friends. I mean, you guys, for example, you know, I would consider you guys more of my inner circle of friends, and, you know, as opposed to like, you know, maybe just like acquaintances. Like I've known you guys for a while. And, you know, I haven't seen you guys. You know, I haven't seen you guys in like a year. Sounded like a year, yeah.
Well, we can pick up where we left off.
And that's what I mean by it. You know, it hasn't really been a detriment to my close friendships. I think, you know, all my friends understand. You know, obviously it's a two-way street. Like Joey always hits me up to go places, right, or go meet him up and stuff. And it's like I never hit him back. Or, you know, it's like it's never reciprocated.
Don't even notice that.
I mean, it's not intentional. It's just because, like, literally when I'm home and not working and I'm not traveling, I just want to be home. You know, it's just like I just gotta like mentally detox from the travel, and I just need to be home, binge watch on some Netflix, and, you know, tub of ice cream might be involved. It might not be. It depends on the grocery shopping that happened the week before. But yeah, man, that's basically what it's kind of boiled down to. Try to be spontaneous every now and then, and kind of go and do things that we normally wouldn't. Like especially Vanessa and I, as a couple, when we have time together. She's going golfing for the first time on Sunday with me.
Nice.
So we're kind of pumped for that.
She's behind us watching, by the way.
Yeah, no, we keep on turning her out.
Yeah, she's like glue. She sticks and follows me everywhere. But you know, it's good. It's at the end of the day. I don't think that being gone and you know, working away from home has really been that detrimental to my relationships with, you know, those around me, or like those, you know, those loved ones that are meant to stay, you know, especially.
I bet you really, I guess, appreciate home a lot more, and the time that you do spend with like friends and family. Because like for me, I go home after a hard day's work and it's like, but like when you're gone for such a long time, you come home, it's like refreshing, and you just love going.
You live across the street from us, and you see us once or twice a week.
Yeah,
it's not as special as this gathering with Leonard.
Yeah. No, and that's true too. I mean, granted that like I would love to come over here and, you know, sip on some rum with you guys and smoke some cigars or whatever, but you know, it's I just make sure that I capitalize on the opportunities when I know that I can. You know, I could have easily made an excuse, and I'm not saying that I haven't in the past, but I could have easily made an excuse today and not came either. But you know, it's your birthday was not too long ago, and I knew that I hadn't seen you guys for a while, and asking to be on this was a nice surprise too. So, as a avid follower and listener, it's a privilege to be here.
Thank you for doing this. We really appreciate it.
You're actually like one of the first people we thought of having on here, by the way.
Oh, nice. Yeah, I appreciate that.
Just to let you know.
That's cool. Yeah, no, that's really nice. I was actually when I think was it your guys' last week's upload about the music.
Oh, yeah.
Or no, that was the week before.
A week or two ago? Yeah, last week was
I think it was 2 weeks.
The goals,
the
5-year plan.
Yeah.
Right.
So the one before that, I was like, man, I would have liked to like, because you guys are talking about music genres.
Right.
And you guys had like a little mini discussion on like, yeah, I think it's just called Latin.
That's right. It's like, I don't know.
Yeah, so I think you're right, actually. I think it's called Latin, and then under that, there's like subgenres, right? There's like salsa, merengue, you have like cumbia, and then you have reggaeton. So like, yeah, I was like, man, see, I could have had something to contribute. That's like my thing. Another thing that I do at the airport is I just constantly kind of try to dig for music, whether it's mainstream music that we're all familiar for, and kind of add them to my playlists or my downloads, or just find some Bandcamp or SoundCloud off the wall, producer or artist that's up and coming, and just
some
dig
underground
their
shit.
sound. Yeah. You gotta have some of that underground shit, and then when it becomes popular, like, I heard it first.
Hipster.
That's the Seattle in him coming
It
out.
is.
Yeah, that's hilarious.
They're rubbing off on you, man.
Nah,
keep
man.
that shit out of here.
Yeah.
Just kidding. We like Seattle people.
No, it's about the music, man. That's one of the things that has kind of been keeping me busy too. Is I was helping out one of my buddies do a couple of DJ gigs around the valley. So did it's like the Clubhouse restaurant at TPC Scottsdale, Toro. So did a set for like brunch there, and then Game 7 Girl that's downtown across the Diamondback Stadium did a
Chase.
couple. Yeah, Chase Field at Game 7 Girl that's there did a couple of it was like Friday home game sets, like on they have like a little stage thing, and then they also have like a Budweiser room where they do like promotions and stuff. So just played music there for a couple hours.
Are you like his opener then? Like his opener? Like you play for a little bit, then he comes on?
Well, opener or closer depending on his schedule.
Okay.
So it's just so he doesn't have to lose the entire gig. I'll go and then we'll just split it or whatever.
Can we hire you to mix like an intro beat for us?
I know.
Dude, those beats that you put on that 9 to 5 Escape thing. Some lo-fi like mellow beats. I liked it.
That's like all free music that you can find on the internet.
Yeah,
like
I looked at the little like links thing, and like I saw that you found one on Bandcamp actually, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, you find some pretty crazy stuff on there.
Right, especially when it's free.
Yeah.
It's awesome.
Well, since you like music so much, I have a question for you.
Mm-hmm.
Would you rather be blind or deaf?
Blind or deaf?
Yeah.
Dang, bro.
Or both.
That's hard.
Or both.
If you'd prefer.
I mean, let's just like go back and think about the artists. Like, I don't know if there's many artists out there that we know that are deaf. I mean, correct me if I'm wrong. I'm not really sure. But
Beethoven.
He was deaf.
I believe so.
He just cut off a ear, didn't he? Oh,
No, that's the artist. I believe it was a Beethoven. It's one of those classical. They weren't born deaf, or they lost their hearing at some point.
Gotcha.
Yeah, it wasn't. He lost his hearing.
Was it
over time?
Was it Beethoven?
It was Beethoven.
Beethoven. Wow. Yeah, I think I might have heard that, but I wasn't sure if it was Beethoven. I knew. Yeah. I don't know. I guess I'd rather be blind.
Damn.
Man.
What?
I don't get it.
Me either.
I don't get it.
Dude, like for me personally, I like seeing beauty, and like nothing like has hit me hard hearing it.
Plus, there's sign language.
There's sign language.
But if you're blind,
Yeah. I mean, Stevie Wonder's done it. I mean, he's musically he's considered a genius by a lot of people, But
I've told these guys,
I don't know, man. It's tough.
I told these guys that I would rather go blind. I always have music going on when I'm at work, at the gym. I just always have something going on, and I just love it so much. And they're both, want to rather be
Deaf.
Yeah.
For sure.
But yeah.
Yeah.
Cool.
I'd rather be deaf.
I'm not alone in this world.
So you're mentioning you wanted to buy a house soon?
Yeah, we've been looking. We've been looking for the past couple of months now. It's just nothing's really
Like seriously, or
seriously. Yeah.
Mhm.
Nothing that has caught our eye is in our budget.
Right. That's how it always is.
Or vice versa. Like
Yeah.
everything that's in our budget's like, I think finally we've come to an agreement. Not that there was ever like a huge disagreement, but it was just some education that needed to happen about, finding, hidden ROI in properties instead of just going into somewhere that's already been
That's what I did.
rehabbed. Yeah,
Yeah.
Exactly. You're a prime example.
Mhm.
And I think an area
That turns a lot of people away.
yeah, fixer-uppers.
Yep.
Yeah, for sure.
Would you buy a fixer-upper?
Nope.
Would you buy a fixer-upper?
I don't know. I really don't know.
If it's not a resounding yes, then
I really don't know.
yeah. I think generally it's probably safe to say that most people wouldn't.
Yeah, I mean, you see a lot of people always looking for turnkey properties, but I think a big factor with maybe that mindset changing a little bit is a lot of these shows on like HGTV that show like people going and buying and flipping homes and turning something that was a dump and no one wanted and was a squatter's location, and they it's like turned into this glam nice place. But I think a lot of people are beginning to understand that that's a possibility, and I think you can kind of even see it in the market. Like a lot of these investors are buying up properties cash and just really doing that, just gutting them and flipping around, making a quick buck on them. I don't know. I see a lot of that stuff, out there in circulation. It's like recently remodeled, and you kind of
Right.
look at the public record, and it's like, oh, this this was just
6 months
sold
ago.
6 months ago.
Yeah.
Yeah. So, I try and if it happens, something that's already have some work done in, and it's been updated or a facelift has been given to it. Maybe, but I'd rather find something that we can kind of add our own character to.
What I was getting at is like a house is a huge time sink, and with you not having a whole lot of time during the week, like, do you think it's a good idea, or do you think renting is like still an option?
I know that I don't want to rent anymore.
Mhm.
Just put Vanessa to work, bro.
Yeah.
She's about to get real homely.
yeah. Have her put up drywall.
Yeah.
By herself.
Get her a pink tool belt.
As long as I keep her fed, I think she can't get hangry. Otherwise, the productivity goes away. But no, I've thought of that, and I think that's one of the things that we've been talking about too. Is we're looking at townhomes and condos that maybe will kind of need that facelift. I mean, whether it's I don't know, like a new kitchen and bathrooms, and like we can do a lot of it ourselves.
It's fun and it's rewarding.
Yeah,
But it's a lot
I
of
can
time
imagine.
and money.
No, definitely.
Do you know how to do like a lot of like home stuff, like lay tiles and all that kind of stuff? There's YouTube, but
Yeah, I mean,
You
I don't
can
know.
figure
if-
it out.
yeah.
Yeah, I wouldn't be like too cool with electrical stuff. Like I'm not trying to get shocked.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? But anything else, I think I'd somehow figure out how to do it, or recruit, my dad, her dad, or my uncle, or something like to.
You got friends too, man.
Yeah, you guys.
I've been through it.
Yeah, they're gonna be like, "Damn, Leonard never calls us, but the day he calls us, he's putting in work."
You just want something.
Yeah.
It's hilarious.
No, but no, I appreciate it. I mean, hopefully that day will come sooner than later.
Mhm.
That's one of the things is like, it's nice to rent and just have everything kind of taken care of for you, but more of thinking, down the line, like shout out to your 5-year plan.
Right.
It's just kind of trying to build some equity into a place and,
Mhm.
just owning something.
Grass is always greener, bro.
Having another asset on the portfolio.
Yeah.
You know? Yeah.
You planning on moving closer to us?
Dude, honestly, I've been looking all over this kind of, I guess what you would consider a more central area now. Along the 51 up to, I'd kind of been stopping my search at like Thunderbird.
Okay.
But I've been looking in Tempe, like South Scottsdale area, kind of like that. Yeah, it's just, I mean, even just looking for these places and kind of, finding the time to communicate between one another of, hey, like, this is cool. What do you like or dislike about this one? Like, how about the area? Even that is a time sink. It's like finding time to talk about this in like a controlled manner, not where we're texting each other back and forth, but like when we're actually sitting together and talking about, what each of us want and how we can kind of bring it together to.
Are you kind of limited to like Friday to Sunday? Is that?
Yeah, I would say more so. Like next week, I'm working here locally, which is nice. I just kind of got to drive around. I'm at home, but that doesn't happen very often at all.
So with
I was just gonna say, like, it really sucks though when you go and take a tour of a place that you can't afford, because then you really like it, and then everything else seems like shit.
Yeah.
Oh,
After
man.
that,
Yeah. Like I took a tour of these apartments that are right across
Camden?
from here. Camden,
Yeah.
dude. They have a 2-story gym, and then they have a protein dispenser. They give you free protein. Like, what the fuck?
well, how much savings is that a month?
It might be a lot. It might be worth
Let's
it.
be honest.
It might be worth. And they have like a little Starbucks machine, so your own Starbucks. How much do you spend at Starbucks?
That's crazy.
Yeah, like, but I just can't afford it.
Yes, you can, bro.
I probably can, but I don't. Don't want to spend that.
You're a yuppie, man.
Our apartment complex was handing out Chick-fil-A's to people leaving the parking
he's
garage. Like we saw in the elevator. It was like, yeah, get your Chick-fil-A on this day, and I forgot about it. Otherwise, and I didn't have to work that day, and you had to like drive out the garage to get a burrito. And Vanessa's like, did you get your Chick-fil-A? I was like, no, I didn't have to go anywhere. He's like, you could have just circled around and parked in the back. I was like, all for a burrito? Like, nah, just
keeps coming in and out.
Hey, weren't you here?
Got a busy day.
Dude, speaking of money, I got a fact to throw at you guys. So, median household income for Americans is like 55K a year, right?
Yeah.
People that are traveling is about 88,000 a year.
Oh, so it's higher.
It's a pretty big jump.
Yeah.
Would you say that the traveling, you get paid more money than you would not?
Yeah, man. I mean, that's kind of why I haven't stopped doing it.
Yeah.
I was just having this conversation today with Vanessa. I was like, it's just, I'm kind of getting burned out.
Is there a timeline on this travel, or?
Yeah. So
if you're like allowed to say in front of your employer.
I know we can cut anything out that you don't.
No. I mean, yeah, and that's the cool part about my employer. I mean, they support furthering your education. I'm currently enrolled in a master's program that they're funding, and it's kind of, I actually just got promoted last month. I'm in a senior position now, which is a little more rewarding. I get to kind of mentor some of the younger colleagues that come into the company, and also kind of get in line and groomed to be like a director of some kind. So then there's no travel once that happens. We're like a project manager, it's just, you just work from home, essentially.
You're the guy on the other end of the phone?
Huh?
You're the guy on the other end of the phone?
Yeah.
You only have to meet your employees twice a year.
Yeah.
Yeah, just like I wear pajamas and just like a nice shirt, like on the on the Skype cam.
Dude, that reminds me. Facebook has that on this day X years ago.
Yeah.
And it shows you like your pictures or your memories, whatever. I always see the one every year where it's like, I don't think we said this, but we went to high school together.
Yeah.
And it was like senior year when we all dressed up with ties and stuff for our pictures.
Yeah.
And I wore a button down and a tie and shorts because the pictures were like chest up, right? And every time I see that picture, I'm like, I'm the only guy in that picture that has shorts on right now. Because there's like 6 of us with ties and like button down shirts.
You're ahead of the game, dude. You're
awesome.
ahead of the game.
Just in your, Betty Boop underwear
yeah.
with a button down.
Exactly. Just hanging out. But actually, one of the things that I haven't really told too many people is after conversations and conversations. My wife and I, like my parents. I think I'm going to. I don't think I'm going to apply to medical school again after hopefully this master's is over. I'd say probably within the next year and a half. It's just kind of always been like that dream, like that goal, you know. And I started to get really turned off by the idea of, I guess, not being financially secure during that, you know, that whole process of medical school and residency. But then we started to talk about it and think about it. It's like, man, you know, who cares? Like,
Vanessa can support you.
Yeah, she can support me. And you know, it's just you just gotta get after it. Like, you just gotta chase it. And you know, things. I kind of started to put things in a different perspective in regards to, you know, I started thinking about like the toughest times in my life, and it's like, you know, did you get through it? Yes. You know, ultimately, like, you got through it.
You got a roof over your head. You're still alive.
You know, and it's like, I'm not saying that I've seen some pretty grim times, but you know, it hasn't all been, you know, as you would want it to be and call it perfect, you know. But if you can get through some of those things and have a good support system around you and stuff like that, like, you know, why not try? I can always, you know, I don't have to leave my job. I can just try. And if it doesn't work out, then it doesn't work out.
Just drop out of it.
Yeah.
It's not a big deal.
Yeah.
I heard a good quote one day. Best time to plant a tree was 20 years ago. Second best time to plant a tree is right now.
Right now.
Yeah.
That's awesome.
So if you're going to do it, just do it.
Yeah. So that's what I've, you know, kind of come to terms with, and got all my studying material all put together and kind of just taking it one step at a time, man. It's been hard really learning patience. It's like, you know, for me, it's like I want everything right then and there. It's
like
a one-track mind.
Like a doctor's patient, or like waiting patience?
Patience.
Okay.
Yeah, waiting patience. And it's I don't know, it's just, I just got to remember just to take it one day at a time.
Yeah.
And I mean, hopefully it works out, and if it doesn't, then it doesn't, and I guess I'll just travel for the rest of my life. Probably like age 20 years more than your average person, just traveling at 500 mile per hour speeds and stuff.
No, dude, you age slower.
Do you?
Yeah.
Oh, well.
If you go, I think, towards the east, you age slower.
I don't know if that matters.
I think so.
It's just speed.
Nah, man.
Anyways,
I'm not trying to age at all, at a quicker pace than I am now. So.
Wait, no, didn't you age?
the faster you go, the slower you age.
Because if you're going this way,
Doesn't matter which way you're going, bro.
I'm thinking of like
it makes sense.
think about Inception.
Yeah. What?
Not Inception. Your favorite
Interstellar.
movie, Interstellar.
Yeah.
The guys were in the spaceship and they're like really old, but everyone on the planet was like the same age.
Yeah.
Farther up.
No, it's the other way around.
Oh,
They came back and they were young
it took me like 7 times to pass physics.
I remember.
because they were traveling really fast.
Yep.
But they're going.
They were going east.
They're going that.
They're going east around the black hole. But
Just kidding.
Speaking of physics, I think that's when you and I like really created our bond.
Physics.
Physics.
Oh yeah, physics.
Physics.
Oh, speaking of our mutual friend Isaac, he completed his PhD program
No
in
way.
nuclear engineering or something like that.
is
Yeah,
he in
That's awesome.
a psych ward now, or?
I'm not sure what he's doing at the moment.
I thought
but,
astrophysics was his forte.
he after he finished his undergrad in physics, he went into he did his master's program in nuclear, and then he continued and he's got his PhD
Dude,
now.
that's
in-
awesome.
You got to be a little crazy to do astrophysics,
Yeah,
like owning a moose or chopping your ear off. Crazy.
Tyson
Brahe.
yeah,
Tycho
Brahe.
Yeah.
Is that an astrophysicist?
Yeah. Don't ask me what he did, but
Yeah.
he owned a moose.
Did he really?
And he had like a fake nose, or
It was, those guys are weird.
if anyone's interested, Google it.
Jeez.
Interesting story.
I want to circle back to food because food is a huge part of my life. Like, I eat something, the next thing I think about is like what I'm going to eat for my next meal. You're on the road, right? Is it a lot of like the hotel restaurant food because it's convenient, or is it like you're going out trying to find a new place that's exciting, or?
So the majority of the time, yeah, like it'll end up being, some dinner from the hotel that I'm staying at. When I'm on point and I'm like pre-planned and I'm doing like pretty good as far as eating healthy, I'll try to like stop by a Whole Foods or like a grocery store and try to get something that.
You get a per diem?
Yeah.
What's your, if you don't mind me asking, like per meal, how much do you get?
Well, it's daily, so and it varies by city.
Okay. So just on average, like, do you get $10 a meal or do you get like $100 a meal?
It's like $100 a day.
Okay. So maybe, $25-$30 a meal.
I'll use that in one meal, bro.
I mean, you could, I guess, if you wanted to.
Do you get to pocket the rest that you don't use? Nice.
Yeah.
Is that any incentive to just eat dollar menu
totally
food?
Is.
Or?
Yeah, I mean, you'll catch me eating pho like 3 out of the 4 days I travel. It's just, that's something that I eat a lot too. I have this thing there. I try to go eat pho, at different places that I go and try to find the best one.
You should write a blog about pho around the world.
You should
I
be
should.
the pho king.
I should, man.
The fucking what?
The fucking expert. What do you mean?
Yeah.
What do you mean, bro? I'm the fucking expert on pho. No, but yeah, I mean, it's good. Obviously, like, you have your bad ones and you have your good ones, but
You're talking about pho or just
like
food in general?
no, the pho places.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
That's awesome. Where's your fate?
How do you fuck up pho?
Dude, you'd be surprised. Some of those broths are nasty.
I've never had pho, so I have no.
It's like, I don't know what you did, but this just doesn't taste like
after this.
No, I'm just surprised you never had it before.
And then I just told him after this.
We're going?
Yeah.
That's pretty good, man.
I saw this place in Colorado called Pho 20.
Yeah, it's weird. Like, all the places in Colorado have numbers. There's like pho 66.
Yeah.
You look it up on Yelp and it's like pho and then all these numbers. Yeah, but
20.
20. That's awesome.
I always pick the one with the most stars, most reviews, and just.
Talk to Steven about that, man. He's all about Yelp.
You're a Yelper, dude?
I mean, the girlfriend is. I just like spending a lot of money on food.
Nice.
Whatever it is. I hate eating. I guess I don't know. I like to splurge on food.
You hate eating peasant food.
Yes.
Fucking pleb.
Except when I'm drunk.
Yeah, you just get Taco Bell or
Taco
Or Jack in the Box and not eat it.
Yeah, all the time.
shots. All right, I got one last question.
Yeah.
You guys can chirp in with whatever else you want, but give me one.
I guess we could talk now.
No, we can't. It's over after this, guys.
Give me
Yeah, dude.
like your biggest piece of advice for traveling. Just one piece of advice.
One piece of advice.
For
Man.
leisure, for fun, for your work, whatever. It's just like, yo, do the TSA pre-check because it's the best thing in the world. Or like,
Buy
keep
a
your
neck.
shoes on the airplane.
Buy a neck pillow.
Man, all those sound like great ones, man. Pros.
you have like a routine when you get on an airplane?
Yeah.
Do you like pack your bag in a certain way? Or
I do. So I always have a carry-on with me. It's my backpack. I carry my backpack and then, like a small rollerboard to. I guess the biggest tip that I could tell to people is just never use baggage claim. Just, if you can carry it on like within limits, but
they can't lose your luggage that way.
no, and there's no reason you should be having to use baggage claim unless you're somewhere for like a really long time.
Dude, when Southwest gives you 2 free checked bags, how do you say no to that?
I know.
But then you're wasting. For me, it's all about efficiency, right?
Right.
Like I gotta go wait around at the baggage claim and sit around with all those other knuckleheads, like touching every other black bag that comes out.
Yeah.
They're all black. So it's like, oh yeah, this is mine. It's like, no, that one's actually mine. So I rather not. I think the biggest thing for me is, just making sure that everything that I have is carry on.
Pack light.
Yeah, packing light,
Mhm.
being smart. Taking a week-long trip, take one pair of black shoes and one pair of brown shoes, and mix and match your clothing accordingly. But
Spoken like a backpacker, man.
yeah, man, that's one of the things that I've probably learned how to do really well. The last couple of years is be efficient on my packing.
I just remember, just had a flashback of when we were hiking up Grand Canyon.
When I died?
Yeah, and you're dying. You're like, I just want some Skittles, man. Just give me some Skittles.
Dude, they weren't Skittles though. They were like M&Ms, I think.
Oh, okay.
Saving grace.
Well, it was like you're backpacking while you're bringing candy on the trip.
Blood sugar,
Dude,
bro.
you need that blood. You know what I'm saying? You can't let the insulin get all out of whack, and then I start getting sleepy. You know, might not ever make it out. So I gotta stay prepared. I still carry Skittles with me every now and then. Actually, Sprouts has some really good gummy bears. They got like 30 flavors. Yeah,
is it in the big tub that you just scoop
it
it
used
out?
to be. I think there's too many people like
Snagging them?
getting sly.
Yeah.
So they put them in like little plastic little plastic compartment things that are on the side. But I'm trying to think of something good to tell the people, man, as far as traveling. I feel like I would have more to say, but
Question: Do you like buy your own tickets through like a credit card maybe, and then you get like cash back and also the travel points?
Yeah, is it all reimbursement or?
so I have a corporate card that's in my name.
Okay.
So then I have to write expense reports, so then the company pays off my
Every
corporate
time?
card. It's monthly.
That sucks.
Yeah,
a
I'm not
lot.
very good at keeping up with them
Like
either.
saving every receipt and
Dude, it's easy now. I mean, you get a receipt.
Take a picture of it, right?
Yeah, have this app on the phone, and it actually like outlines it and turns it into PDF and sends it out. So it's easy. It's just it is kind of
like, I want a cup of coffee, but I got to take a picture of the receipt afterwards. Or like, I want some gum at the Circle K.
exactly.
Yeah.
Yeah, saving receipts for gas is the worst because when you pay at the pump, like how many times you go put gas and remember to keep your receipt?
Or it's like, see
Yeah,
attendant
sucks.
because it doesn't print.
Yeah,
Oh, yeah.
I always forget the receipt, man. So I always have to attach this like document that says I forgot the receipt and why I forgot it.
Dude, I'm not going to lie. I save every receipt.
Really?
Anything I buy. Yeah. Just stuff it in my wallet and I throw it in a fucking shoebox in my bedroom.
Alibis?
No, there's been like, well, that too, but there's been a few times where it's like, oh, I need to know, like, did I buy this or I need to return this thing or whatever. And I've at least like 5 or 6 times a year, I go back in that box to grab the receipt to dispute something or return something or whatever.
That's crazy. I literally keep no receipts. And I tell people, like, if they ask me, do you want a receipt? No.
Really?
Yeah.
I'm like, I'll always say yes.
That's smart.
But I don't know what to do with them because I have this huge box of receipts that are garbage.
I mean, at a certain point, they're old and not you're ever using them.
Just
So
like start a good fire or something.
yeah,
But
you can
Yeah.
take it up to with you. What was it? Havasu pie?
down to have a soup.
Down. Yeah, you can take it with you.
Well, is it
Tinder?
down?
Tinder.
Tinder.
Or toilet paper.
Not. Is it Tinder?
Yeah, it's Tinder. You're not allowed to light fires down there, I believe.
I mean, just keep it really small.
You excited for Havasupai? You're coming with me, right?
Yeah, man. I am. If I can like get in the rhythm of exercising
It's like
regularly, so I
less than
don't
a month
die
away.
again.
It's
Yeah,
pretty close.
I know, man. That's what I'm saying. Like,
It's only 12 miles.
only
Yeah.
the farthest I walk is like from
Your
the
car.
gate of the airport to the rental shuttle bus.
Dude, well, like when they have the sign like seatbelts off, just get in the aisle, start doing some push-ups,
Yeah.
squats.
Just hold everyone up. Yeah. Hey, put your bag on my back. Hurry up. Yeah. Nah. No, it should be fun. I'm excited. Got to get all our stuff out of storage and prep all that stuff before you know it. We'll be here.
Yep. It's like 4 weeks away, 3 weeks away.
Mhm.
So
I've always wanted to go.
it's difficult
I bet.
to get a permit now.
Yeah.
The whole social media thing just
That's what ruined Fossil.
yeah.
Yeah.
It's the same thing. You see these like hidden gems on Instagram, and
Yeah.
now they're like
Yeah,
too well known.
Exploited.
Yeah, I tried to get a permit. It's like 8 a.m. on a February 1st every year, and you scroll through everything on the internet like to the month you want to go. We were going in September, obviously, next month, and I signed in right at that time. 30 seconds later, to get to that like the dates and the months and the like weekends, they're all sold out.
Holy.
Yeah, and you start scrolling through every month, and it's like dates just start disappearing. It's like within a minute, the whole year sells out.
No way.
Mm-hmm.
When do they release it? February 1st?
February 1st at 8 a.m.
Every year.
Well, they just switched to online this year, but before it was like you would have to call in and just keep calling because it was busy. But now it's online, and now like this year I tried to do it and they sold out all right away.
Jeez.
Like in a minute.
It's like getting a pair of Yeezys.
Right.
Question: can you resell those?
No. Used to be able to because you didn't have to pay ahead of time, but now you have to pay ahead of time
Okay.
and put your name on it.
Oh, so your name is on it.
Right.
That sucks. Okay. I was gonna say we could write an algorithm and just fucking just buy a shit ton.
And resell them.
Yeah.
Leonard, thank you very much again for joining us. We really appreciate it. We would love to have you back again. This was a great time. I hope you enjoyed it.
We want to see you more than just once a year too.
Yeah, man. Definitely. Yeah.
Also, again, for our listeners, if you guys got any topics you want us to talk about or anything, please shoot us an email, comment, anything, or any thoughts you have on our show. Let us know. Also, Joey's got something else going on. Joey?
Oh, yeah. A new YouTube channel, a little travel channel. It's like a travel / overlanding kind of adventure channel. A buddy of mine, he just bought his 400 today. Chris?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, and so we're going to do some like traveling, some camping, some driving out to random places, some, exotic trips like Thailand. But it's called the 9 to 5 Escape is the YouTube channel. We're going to get a website rolling soon, so we'll get that up and going. But I'll put the link up there on Facebook. Let everyone know where it is. There's one video up right now. Watch it. If you like it, subscribe. Check it out.
I've watched it already. The music's good.
Yeah.
Video quality is excellent.
4K.
Yeah.
Dang.
It's the only way to do it.
Sweet.
Nice. Well, no, I appreciate being on here and definitely seeing you guys. So.
Yeah. Well,
Yeah.
like I said, we'll have you back again. We'll touch on another topic.
Yeah.
It'd be great.
And then again, and then again.
And again and again. Yeah.
Sweet.
Yeah. So on that, Steven,
We out.
thanks for tuning in to the Yup Life.
If you enjoyed it, leave us a rating and a review on iTunes, or just follow us at the Yup Life Podcast.
We're on Facebook, Twitter, YouTube, iTunes, and Google Play Music.
Stay yuppie.